Jay-Z or any one of these other celebrities who are the new religion to people, and we just blindly follow them. Like, how is a man that is a billionaire, because he was on, I don't know, I saw him on something, and he was asked, like, well, you know, people are saying that the Democrats are, you know, making people have less money. And then Jay-Z said, oh, money doesn't matter. Don't you want to live in an environment where you can have happiness? You can be who you are? You can't be who you are. And that's not even my biggest problem with what he said. My biggest problem with what he said is, it's easy for someone who has all this money to say that money doesn't matter, but it is so out of touch and so... Hi. This is my second recording. I posted a recording last night, and you know, while it was good, I have really thought about it, and first of all, my name is Kim, and I have been a registered and voting Democrat for my whole voting life. I am 46, and I've always thought of myself as a very social justice driven, compassionate human. You know, I'm all of the social issues that the Democrats purport to care about have always mattered to me. Equality matters to me. Equity, now we have a problem. So in my message last night, what I shared was all of the things that have just fully turned me off from the Democratic Party. Like the law, like they're trying to take away free speech. They are race hustling, gender hustling. And if you know the story Harrison Bergeron from Kurt Vonnegut, this is the way I see our future becoming if we continue on in this capacity. People might say it's conspiracy theory. I think it's very real, and it's very terrifying to me. I work in a city that happens to be a sanctuary city. It has a very liberal, leftist mayor, and what I can say about that is that I've seen the decline of this city rapidly happening in front of my eyes. I see some of the same young girls going to the town hall, meeting men, and going inside to get marriage licenses. And then as employees telling us not to question that. It's very scary. And so that's what I want to talk about. I fully was indoctrinated. And during Trump's, last run as president, I couldn't even stand to listen to him. I bought into every single thing that the media was telling me. I've since, because nothing was sitting right with me about this Harris-Biden, whatever you call it, term, 4 years almost that they've been in office, the wars, the fact that I work at a job where I am making the most money hourly that I've ever made in my life. And when I tell you I am the brokest I've ever been, I'm not lying. Like, I'm at $0 every single day the night that I'm about to get paid again. There's something very wrong here. When I stopped, so I was not happy with what was happening within this administration. I stopped listening to news. I stopped watching the 24-hour news stations. And then I found Bobby Kennedy. And when he speaks, it lights me up. It fuels me, and it makes sense to me, everything he's saying. And to watch him be labeled all of these crazy terms, and then to hear people that I used to be able to talk to freely, to hear them question me on why I like him, and then to say the same regurgitated, misleading phrases that, lead the news cycles, to hear them say that to me about him, it makes no sense to me. And let me just tell you, I come from a family that is mixed with both Democrats and Republicans. I have never once had any of my Republican relatives choose not to talk to me or to back away from any sort of healthy debate with me about politics. But once I decided to stand by Bobby Kennedy, help his campaign, well, I started to volunteer, and then then once he threw his support behind Donald Trump, that was when all of the Democrats, friends and family members, or family-esque members alike, stopped wanting to listen to me. They started calling me crazy, that I was buying into the right-wing media, and never, ever have I experienced that level of division and anger directed at me for my choices before. So, that doesn't feel good, because they're not willing to listen. Now listening to Donald Trump, because I took myself out of the rhetoric and I stopped allowing those statements to fill my head. When I listen to him, he's a completely different person, a completely different man, because I'm listening to him now with my own heart. So what I have to say is that this faction of the DNC is brainwashing people. It's like a cult. And when I watch Kamala Harris get coddled and babied, and then the one time she doesn't, people make excuses and say that she's passionate instead of, not having humility. It's highly disturbing to me. It's like if an asshole is an asshole is an asshole. I mean, there's no other way to put it. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, and people aren't believing what they're seeing and what they're hearing with their own hearts, because they have been told for years upon years now that doesn't matter. Policy doesn't matter. What matters is beating Donald Trump. I mean, come on. This is our country that we live in. You can't tell me. People are like, no, we're not broke. No, it's just inflation. It defies logic. And my biggest point is that we are all divine human beings. We all have divinity inside of us. And when you are listening and when you're fueled by hatred, you exist in fear. And fear is the biggest commodity or the biggest currency that people in power have. So by having we the people existing in this state of fear and anger and lack and victimization, when we exist like this, we give them our power. When we hear people like Jay-Z or any one of these other celebrities who are the new religion to people, and we just blindly follow them, like, how is a man that is a billionaire, because he was on, I don't know, I saw him on something, and he was asked, like, well, you know, people are saying that the Democrats are, you know, making people have less money. And then Jay-Z said, oh, money doesn't matter. Don't you want to live in an environment where you can have happiness? You can be who you are? You can't be who you are. And that's not even my biggest problem with what he said. My biggest problem with what he said is, it's easy for someone who has all this money to say that money doesn't matter, but it is so out of touch and so appalling to me that he would say that money doesn't matter. First of all, money should matter to everybody, and we are all worthy of it. And when you have people who feel like money buys time freedom. That is freedom. And when you allow the people to exist with feeling worthless because of equity and, oh, you can get a job if you have a different color skin, doesn't matter what your credentials are, well, how is that person going to feel when they're constantly underperforming if that's why they got the job? Like, where is the common sense anymore? You know, Malcolm X once has been known to have said that the biggest threat to the United States and to the black man is the white liberal. Not a Democrat, a white liberal. Because they are using minority as a source of power, as their currency, to keep everyone divided. And really this whole time it's all classism. They're keeping us down. They're keeping us in a fear mindset. They're keeping us feeling worthless. And when you put out that vibration, you get that back. We are all worthy. We are all divine, beautiful, sovereign beings who have our own hearts that we should feel confident to listen to. And right now, we are so medicated up because of the food we eat that our bodies are the opposite of clean. And when we have clean bodies, we have an antenna to energy, to the energy field all around us. I just want to get back to love and forgiveness and hope. And I believe fully that we can get there if we get the unity party, Donald Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, and Bobby Kennedy into the White House. Because we didn't have any wars under Trump's first run at it, and I feel safe with Bobby Kennedy, you know, looking out for me and all of us. Follow the money and question everything. Trust yourself enough to know that you are worthy of asking questions and your voice does matter. But lead with love. because we are not meant to be divided. We are meant to be connected, and we are all one. We are all mirrors of one another. So let's start reflecting one another's goodness and greatness. I love you all. I love this country, but I want this country to be represented by someone who will make her feel worthy again.
For more great videos, download the Walkaway Social app at walkawaysocial.com. Share your testimonial and join our community.